questions.
Okay. Our discussions were a blend of what can the council do and what is it that residents can actually do for themselves to improve the areas that we live, and this is certainly somewhere we can do it. We started off, the first point written down is one that's for the council, and that is that the air quality in Tottenham should be at least as good as the air quality in West Haringey. At the moment, the air pollution map it's worse in Tottenham than in the west of Haringey. We should not be having unhealthier air than the rest of the borough. Yeah, and so this is something that the council should adopt as effectively a performance objective. It needs reducing the traffic that comes through here and local 20 mile per hour zones, borough-wide 20 mile per hour limit.
Is that the same? Is that part of the same action point?
That's part of the same action point. The second action point was about the role of the Federation of Residents Association as in bringing together the people and groups that are interested. So having a street scene subgroup, bring together good examples of existing experience, largely from residents associations and other groups, so that they're there and others can look at them and get in touch about how did you do this, and possibly pull together a funding project to get in some people to help residents associations that aren't good with web stuff to get their experiences and their material up online. The third was a collection of things that can be done by residents, so DIY home zones, Tottenham High Road, giving it the Kensington High Street treatment so that you can cross wherever the traffic doesn't get in the way of people shopping and living there. The Streets in Bloom project that Growing in Haringey is running with residents associations in Tottenham Green, focusing on getting people together to improve their front gardens. Residents associations perhaps negotiate or agree a standard for front gardens in their area. It all depends on what the standard that agreed turns out to be. Haringey Federation of Residents Associations and Growing in Haringey could link up with the Haringey in Bloom awards for best edible front garden, best nature-friendly front garden, or indeed residents associations could award their own, best front garden in the area. Cycle locker storage on the street, and final small point was about promoting car sharing clubs, so that there's just simply people can have a car without needing to have them parked all over the place, taking up street space. So I think that,
right.
I've got six there. Do ourselves.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Right then, so that was 6 points. Council to adopt and ensure air quality to be as good in Tottenham as it is in west of Haringey, and promote 20 mile an hour zones throughout Tottenham. To develop through the Federation of Residents Association some kind of street scene subgroup to promote street improvements at the local level throughout the borough. List of options for residents associations and others to promote the various options you can do in your local street, such as DIY, do-it-yourself, traffic calming and home zones, streets in bloom. Develop and promote standards for front gardens, and cycle locking storage on streets, and promoting, I think it's called streetcar, isn't it? The car sharing projects. Okay, is everyone broadly happy to promote all those things? If you are, put your hands up. If you're against it, put your hands up. Okay. Do you want to say why you're against it? Or?
I'm not against those things. I think they're all great, but I think there's a kind of bigger level, and I would add 2 things. One is to campaign for especially our main roads to be delightful places for pedestrians, not dominated by traffic, and for the good of business as well. And the second thing is to create new, particularly pedestrian and cycle connections which are very poor, don't exist, to link up our great assets. I'm thinking particularly of the route to the Lee Valley.
I don't think that really conflicts with any of the other points. In fact, it just kind of amplifies them. So is everybody happy to adopt that main roads should be for people, not traffic, or more for people and less for traffic, and that cycle network should transverse the borough? Yeah. Everybody happy with that? Hang on, I didn't see many hands. All those in favour? Anybody against?
Actually, there's a missing point.
Oh, you've got 6 already. Sorry, James.
Could you read the one about front gardens again?
The front gardens is to develop and promote standards for front gardens.
I don't agree with that one. I think like trying to tell people what they should do with their front gardens is a little bit draconian and like overbearing. Especially like standards. It's like trying to create this kind of like, I don't know, perceive like how you should be looking after your home thing. It's a bit much. Yeah.
Well, I think, well, hang on a second. You can develop standards without making people feel bad that they're not reaching them. You can, you know, there's a way of putting things over. I think developing standards is a very positive thing. Developing standards for green spaces, developing standards for all kinds of things. So I just think the way it's put over is a secondary point. We're trying to improve and promote better front gardens. Yeah?
Remove those standards.
If they want to. Right, hang on. Listen, I don't want a great debate over every single point, as long as people are generally happy. Sorry, oh yeah. Go on.
I agree with most of the point, but I don't know, maybe it was the wrong workshop. That's why I was scared to talk, because I might shot myself in the foot. But no one talked about the shops, like on the high road. Or is it the wrong, it's not the right workshop? Is it the shops on the high road, on the high street, is it? Or? But we was talking about improving the high street, isn't it? And having a bit of control of who's coming into the high street, as far as all those betting shop, chicken shop, and pawnbrokers. So I thought that, unless it's the wrong workshop, that's what I'm saying. We need to show.
You invented your own workshop,
And second, to finish, sorry.
I think Andy was facilitating the workshop. Did he come up and...
Yeah, in the detailed notes from the business workshop, there was a load of stuff about that, so it'll come in somewhere.
Okay. And to finish, just to finish.
Go on then.
I'm against promoting private business. What I'm for is to creating jobs by promoting the ideas of sharing stuff. Does it make sense? So I'm against promoting
You're talking my language.
one business
But I think that's
for the idea.
That's a whole other thing. We've just agreed to support, you know, small businesses, family businesses, or whatever. But there's a greater debate about, you know, kind of future society we might want, whether money should exist or not. But I think that's it's a bit advanced for this time of the day. So I'm going to move quickly on before it gets ragged. But any points that people made in the workshops that was written up on a spreadsheet will get typed up, so it feed into the mix for further discussion. Right.